etc/fstab, and the universally unique identifier. One thing you may note with the Hardy-Heron release is the use of UUIDs as shown here in the etc/fstab configuration file. These universally unique identifiers can help the administrator identify both the system and the volume. It's helpful for those who administer multiple servers, as it's more specific than just a partition device or RAID array or logical volume. It's a 128-bit number, which can be generated with the UUID gen command. If you'd rather not use UUIDs as shown here, you can still use the partition file name, RAID device, or logical volume device file, such as dev-sda1, dev-md0, or dev-vol group log-vol1 in the etc/fstab file. But assuming you want to use UUIDs, here's the procedure. First, create and format the desired partition, RAID array, or logical volume. I've already done that on this particular system here, just for your reference. I've done that for the second SCSI drive, and I've created and formatted dev-sdb1 as a regular Linux partition. Now let's create the UUID with the UUID gen command. dev-sdb1, and that's a long number. You could take that and copy it, but what I'd like to do is send the output to a specific file. Let's call it new UUID. You can name it whatever you want, just remember the name of the file. You might note that the UUID that's been put in the file is different, but every time you generate a UUID, you get a different 128-bit number. So let's apply this UUID to the device with the tune2fs command. The -u switch looks for a UUID, which you can read as input to the command with the cat new UUID command in back quotes, the back quote being on US keyboards just above the tab key, and we apply it to the device file, dev-sdb1 in this case. Now we can add an appropriate line with the UUID in place to the etc/fstab configuration file. It's most conveniently done from the administrative command line, and you can get there with the sudo su command, even though on this particular system I have not enabled the root account. Sudo su is like logging into the root account. Next, I echo the line that I want in that file, in this case UUID equals, I read in the UUID, and I want it mounted on Dickens's home directory. Formatted to the third extended file system with standard defaults. And I want it appended to the end of the etc/fstab configuration file. Be careful with this. If you have only one forward arrow key, you'll overwrite the fstab configuration file, and that would be mucho trouble. So let's review the result. And as you can see here, what I've written And with the echo command is now the last line of the etc/fstab configuration file. And you can also confirm that it follows the same pattern as the other partition mount points. But there's one more thing you need to do. You could try to mount the new mount point immediately, but as you can see here, it doesn't work because you need a device file, and that long number at the end is the UUID in the dev/disk directory, or dev/disk/by-UUID directory. So to get there, I run the link command to create a link from the partition in question, to the desired directory with the name of the UUID, which I can read in with the cat new UUID command. To confirm, I list the UUIDs in that directory, and as you can see, it's the first one in the list. So now when I try the mount-a command again, it works, and now the first partition on the second SCSI drive is used as the mount point for Dickens's home directory. Thanks, and on to the next video.